Welcome to the Landlady Listens. The podcast where we talk all things real estate, development, and the mindset it takes to build your dream life.
Okay, hey guys. It's Landlady.
I'm your host, Meg Hayden, real estate broker, new construction expert, and a believer in making big visions into a reality. So if you're ready to build it, dream it, and live it, let's dive in. Hi guys, it is Meg Hayden from the Landlady Listens. I am so excited about today's podcast. I am here with the beautiful Catia, and we are going to talk about manifestation and mindset. So I'm so excited to have you. Welcome, Catia.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
I'm so happy to have you. So Catia and I met years ago at this point.
Yeah, crazy. 7?
A long time.
6?
It has been a long time.
Yeah.
And so why I wanted Catia on the show is because she is all about mindset and manifestation. And she taught me how to start really getting into meditation and manifestation. So tell me about manifestation.
So manifestation is basically believing in something that you deserve it so deeply and then doing the actions for it to come true. So changing your thoughts from negative to positive, just shutting it down the minute you have a negative thought, you shut it down and you turn it into a positive. It's meditating. Very important to meditate every single day, especially first thing in the morning.
She is religious about it.
Religious. It's changed my life completely. It continues to change my life, and it can change yours. Writing things down. So that you don't have to do it very often. I really am starting to learn more and more about it. You can, as long as you put it on paper and you let it go, it's out there. So, but putting it on paper is extremely important.
So
writing it down.
Yeah. So okay. So I think a lot of people in terms of manifestation, is it like one thing that we're typically focusing on that we want to achieve, or how do you really start like manifesting? Because I think the best thing about you and your story is that the exterior outside of your life can look like and feel like a disaster.
Right.
But how important our mind really is and our focus is to get to exactly where we want to go. So talk to me a little bit about.
So no, does not have to be one thing at a time. The way I started it was I just happened to write down my story. I heard this is what you do, so I wrote it down as it has already happened. So basically, what did my house look like? What did I do for a job? How did I look? How did I feel? Everything from being thinner to, making good money and being successful. My son and what that surrounded, like our life looked like, where we lived, the color of the house, being built from scratch. The whole thing was really written down in detail as if it had already happened. So if you want to manifest, you have to really take time, one, to meditate. That will bring you more focus to you and what you want. No phones, just a piece of paper and a pen after you meditate, and you write down everything in your mind after you meditate, what your life would look like if you were so happy, peaceful, in love. I mean, I even wrote down my husband's height, color of his eyes. It's crazy the stuff that you can really manifest if you really give yourself time to do the whole process. Meditate, write it down, change your thoughts from negative to positive, and do something for yourself. Don't just get up every day and go with your day as if, okay, I just woke up, my alarm went off, I'm going in the shower, I'm brushing my teeth, I'm getting ready, I'm going out the door, I'm going to work. No. The first hour of your day should be dedicated to you. So if you have children, get up an hour earlier. And you don't have to get out of bed. You can be in bed, but it's time for you. time that's dedicated to you because you're really putting it into the universe. Like, what am I meant to have? Because it changes from day to day, week to week. I can't even begin to tell you the stuff that I thought I wanted. Then I got it. Then I'm like, you know what? No, I want more. So the more you meditate, the more you focus on you and you make you a priority, you can be the best for everybody else. And everything will flow right in.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing about well, there's a couple things. I think the meditation is so important because it just like clears the noise, and then you're able to like have a clear, like a blank canvas, and then you're able to say, okay, this is what I want. This is what I want. And then what I've learned in like manifestation and meditation is also about the feeling, right? So like I know we talk about this a lot. Like I listen to Joe Dispenza a lot, and his meditations talk about like, all right, visualize. And there's this other lady, Reagan, from like Mind Valley. I used to do her. But basically like just visualizing who you are as a person. Yeah, what you look like, what you're wearing, who you're with, what car you're driving, all the things. But it's mostly like how you feel. How is that person gonna show up? Right. Like being kind and generous and having enough money to be able to give and to do all the things, right? So I think the biggest and most important part that I've learned, and through a lot of his meditations, and it's one specifically is called like a walking meditation. Okay. So you like meditate, and then he's like, all right, like now that you're that person, like go walk. Like you're that person. And it's crazy because you're like, your shoulders go back, you just have a big smile on your face, and you literally just like dress up as that person for the day. Yes. And walk as if you're already her, because in reality, I think we all forget that we have everything that we need inside of us. And a lot of the time, we think, oh, what happened to our lives? But it's also like a reflection of the interior. And sometimes I feel like that's a really hard place to like think, that like, how is this all happening to me? And then maybe take accountability for you and your feeling and your actions, and maybe your previous like, feeling like not worthy or what have you, whatever it is, right? And so when you get to that place of manifesting the future that you want, it's so important to really like to be that person. So one of the things that I love that you taught me was really about just like interjecting those negative thoughts. So can you talk to us a little bit about like negative thoughts and reprogramming those thoughts?
Sure. So I do want to just touch base on the feeling thing that you talked about really, really quick, because that's one thing I forgot to mention. So feeling is definitely something that's very important. And I always tell everyone, I'm at a point right now in my life, you probably are too, where you've done the meditation so much and you've done so much work on yourself that you can actually feel the feeling of happiness inside. So for those who are just starting out doing the meditations and actually writing things down, it's very important to feel a feeling inside your body. So until you can actually learn and that becomes natural to you to feel that happiness inside, you want to squeeze the inside of your body. Literally squeeze. Anything and everything that you can squeeze. Doesn't matter if it's your private spot. You just squeeze. I always tell the ladies, just squeeze whatever in your body and bring that feeling to your body when you're thinking of whatever it is that you really want to happen. Whether it's that house or whatever it may be, is just to really squeeze the inside so you can actually feel the feelings, because feeling the feeling
is actually the most important part.
Yes.
Yeah. And I guess I didn't like always realize that, because I think, the visualization and stuff like that, when you meditate, you can visualize like your life and what you want, and, just being surrounded by your kids, like you said, and what you're doing and where you're going and what your view looks like. But then really just feeling that, because otherwise, and feeling that and just continuing to feel it through like your whole day. It's almost like continuing
As
to
often
feel
as you can.
those resets. Yeah. But I think the negative part of our mind goes to like, well, I can't have that because I've done this in the past. I've made that mistake. I've done this. So tell me a little bit about, I know that you talk a lot about just flipping the script, to a positive. So give us some tips and tricks.
So
for
it is
that.
hard at the beginning. I'm going to be honest. It's very hard. It comes very easy to me now, but it took a lot of work. Negative thoughts are going to come to your mind no matter what. So your mind is basically saving you. So anytime that they think your mind thinks that you're doing something different, your mind's going to try to stop you. So they call it like the ego of you, stops you from doing anything different than what you're used to doing every single day. So first and most important in the process is acknowledging and being aware. Awareness really is the first step. Being aware, just being aware of your day-to-day and what you're thinking, and not just going with it and letting it go, actually taking the time to be like,
I
nope,
see you.
no,
We're not doing
no.
that.
Nope, and switching it to the positive, whatever it may be. But you have to end it. And it's going to happen. I have negative thoughts all the time. It's going to happen. It's not something that's going to ever stop. But it's what you do with it when that thought comes in, is being able to just be aware of it, awareness, and then substitute it with something positive. And then just keep doing that. You will have a lot less of it eventually.
Yeah.
It is a lot of work, but it's so worth it. And that's what I tell everyone. Yes, it's a lot of work. And if you really want to see a change and you really want something to change in your life, you've got to do the work. It's just the way it is.
I know. I mean, that's with anything. You really have to put the reps in. Like, if you're going to work out, it's like if you want that body,
Exactly.
not even the body, if you want just that health, right? It's like you have to make sure you're disciplined and you're eating the foods that are going to fuel you. You're taking the steps that are going to make you stronger.
Right.
Literally, like go for the walk, go for the this. And I
Right.
think that a lot of the times we forget our mind and how important it is. And, Joe Dispenza talks about how the majority of illnesses and diseases are based off of our minds, and how I think the craziest part is, and I love him because he's super scientific about what he does. And so when people walk in there with their meditation, with a week-long meditation, he literally goes and takes their blood work and does brain scans, and people come out with lower levels of cortisol. Cortisol is the stress hormone, right? And they go in there with different brain scans. I know you were reading You Are the Placebo.
Amazing.
And it's really, I think it's so true that we make ourselves sick. And I remember too, like I was moving and I was so stressed out. And I just, after we even moved, like the process was done. And I'm just sitting there with a headache for 2 weeks. I woke up with
hanging on
myself.
to it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, everything's fine.
Right.
But we're addicted to the chaos, to the stress, to the lack.
Yeah.
To the whatever it is. And it's like I
People-
have to remind myself, like, hey, girl, everything's fine.
People are comfortable in their regular, daily schedule that they do, their feelings. People get to a point where the comfort is so comfortable to be miserable or to, complain. It's a lot easier for someone to do that than to try to change the actual way of speaking, the way of acting, what they choose to do that day, their thoughts. That's a lot easier to just sit here and say, geez, Meg, life is terrible. This keeps happening to me. It is what it is. It just happens. I'm so unlucky. It's easy. It's comfort to people to say that. That's the way my family is. It's always been that way. Oh, it's in my blood. I can't help it. No.
Yeah.
You've got to do the work. Stop
Yeah.
complaining. Stop being comfortable. Get uncomfortable. Eventually you will be comfortable. Trust me. Been there. Done that. And it is very uncomfortable to do the work. But once you do it and you get to a place where you're like at peace.
Well, and then you started like seeing it like show up, which is like so weird, right?
Crazy.
So like when you start really focusing on like the things that you want. Like for me, and it's hard because a lot of times you tell people, you're like, oh, this is what I want. And they'll just try to push you in another direction or say you can't do it. And it's all their own fear and
say less.
Yeah. Say less. And honestly, it's like I have a really great group of like girlfriends and even you where I can go and tell my big dirty dreams, the big ones. And then having people say, all right, awesome. Like, then these are the steps you need to take. This is what you need to do. And I think that, but you're right. It's like we also get addicted to the talking about all the things that have happened to us. And so when
feel bad for me.
Yeah, I'm the victim. And it's like, and for me, it's like being a victim is not being in control of my life. That's just letting life happen. Whereas I really believe that we are the creators of our own destiny, and we have to work at that. We have to put the people around us that vibrate at a high level. And it's very interesting because I feel like the more like I've meditated and I have that clarity, the things start showing up. The call happens. The people come in your life that are vibrating at the same level. And then the people who are vibrating at the low level, it's like you also just have to turn the volume down sometimes on people. Yeah, and have those boundaries and be like, yeah, there's like energy suckers and energy givers. And I want to always try to be an energy giver and elevate. But it's also, it all comes from inside. Like it all stems from here. And I think that when you have that power, it just feels much more powerful when it's coming from you rather than, oh, I need a partner to save me.
Right.
I need a partner to take care of me. Right. I need this. And it's funny because it's like you end up in life, you end up really actually seeing the people around you who are supportive of you. They come in all different like shapes and sizes. And when you're ready to have them like energetically speaking.
But yeah, speaking on boundaries, you have to be very careful and very smart for yourself, who you keep around you. What kind of energy does that person bring to you? I've had to tell someone, like, I can't talk to you. I can't. You're just too negative. I can't. Like,
you're a buzzkill.
Yeah. Like one thing is this, right? We all should have, I always tell everyone, have that one friend that you can tell them what you're feeling, what you're going through. You don't need to tell everyone. Tell that one person, oh, I had a bad day today. My boss or my husband or my son or whatever.
Keep it quick.
Quick. You know, get it out because it is important to talk about it and to fix things. But don't then hang up the phone and call A, B, C, D and keep it going. Go to work, go to the office, go to the mall, run into a friend. Oh, yeah, terrible. This happened to me. And da-da-da. No, don't do that. Like, let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. And if you're using a bad situation to teach someone, like, it's okay to talk about it if you're telling someone what you overcame or if you have a plan to overcome it. Right? Like, so it's okay to use your voice to teach people what you've learned from your mistakes and what you've been through, because it is important to share stories.
But it's not your but it's like it's not it's just the it's like the propeller, right?
Right.
So I feel like you know what I also learned too is like going through difficult situations, you and your mind keep playing back, right? The things that like might have happened.
Right.
Did happen, but not might have happened. Right. But like in our mind's eye, it's like this is what happened and there's no reason to go back to that space.
No.
And so what I really, what I try to do is like interject all the time. When I just see myself, you realize that you're not even being present. So you're like cooking dinner and you're thinking about whatever happened is happening and you're not even paying attention to what you're doing. And so really like making sure that you're present. So I'm like, all right, I'm cutting the zucchini. like even if there's a moment where I'm thinking about something in the past, I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. Here I am. I'm cutting the zucchini. Look at the green. Look at me cutting it. And I know it sounds so like simple and basic, but it really breaks your mental pattern. And life gets hard, you know, whether it's disease too, if you're sick.
It's never going to stop getting hard. It's never going to like completely
go away.
No. You don't just, I'm going to start meditating and manifesting and everything's going to be perfect. I'm a perfect person. I actually had a friend of mine once say to me when I said, I'm done talking to you, like I need to let you go. I had her say to me, I can't believe you're such a positive and person and manifesting, and you were rude to me. No, I wasn't rude. I was done.
Protecting my energy.
Too long with you complaining over something that I thought you should have been grateful for. So I had to cut you off because you were draining my energy. I couldn't convince you that you were in the wrong with that situation. So my job was to now protect my boundaries and let you go. And just because I'm a positive person and I teach people to be positive and manifest doesn't mean I don't have hard days. And it doesn't mean that I'm invisible and that I don't flip out once in a while. I'm not a robot. I am human, mm-hmm. you know? So, and I think that's what people need to understand is that it's hard. It's never going to stop being hard. You're going to be given hardships throughout your life. You've got to be able to just be aware of it. Yeah. Acknowledge it. Instead of dwelling on it, what can I do to change this? This is where I want to be. Okay, what can I do to get there?
Right. And this is not helping.
No, and write
some
it
of
down.
The things.
I'm telling you, even with goals, with anything, write it down.
So you're meditating. So like what meditations do you typically listen to?
I love Joe Dispenza. Yeah. I do.
I didn't like him first because I thought his voice was kind of annoying. Yeah. But once I listened to him being interviewed and the science behind like how powerful his meditations were, then I was like, all right. Yep. I'll give you a second chance. But I also had found out about Joe Dispenza by you. But then I met this other woman who she was like, I was 14. I had cancer and I healed myself through this book and these meditations. And I was like,
I believe it.
I was like, that's crazy. And it wasn't like, it was just a random conversation where I feel like it was actually like divine intervention for myself. But I was like, wow, that's amazing. And then and then on the way back, I like listened to Joe Dispenza, his interviews, and then I started putting him into practice. But I mean, some of his meditations are 15 minutes long, and you're really supposed to meditate first thing when you wake up because you have alpha waves, beta waves. What's the last one? I don't know. There's a bunch of different brain waves. Yeah. And you're the
when
most
your mind is more receptive to change,
and more receptive. Right. So it's like why not prime the mind, right? When it's ready to go, you're like give me the best. Yeah. I want the best information. Yeah. Like I have my kids listen to like affirmations when I drive them to school. Like I am strong. I am powerful. I am in control of my emotions. Whatever the affirmations are. And I do think it's, I think we all just wake up and we just go to our phones and look at the news or blah, blah, blah.
Worst thing you could do.
Mm-hmm. And then also before you go to sleep. So it's like that time before you go to sleep, even if it's 15 minutes to go through the day and say like, what did I do well? Where can I be better? And, I don't know, where was the best part of me that day, right? And what can I do better for tomorrow? And going through that, and it was funny because I remember you were at my house and we were talking about how you have to do, think of positive thoughts before you go to sleep. And I was thinking, like, I have 2 little kids. I'm putting them to bed, like, hour and a half in. You're like,
right,
that's enough. We gotta go to bed. It's like I've been trying to put you to bed for an hour and a half. Nicely, very nice. All right. But so then we started listening to meditations at night because if I'm supposed to be doing that, then we should be doing
Exactly.
that. And so what other meditations are you listening to?
So I can tell you that I do all different meditations. Sometimes I wake up in the morning, like not too long ago, over the weekend, the previous weekend, I woke up one morning and my body just killed. Like I have fibromyalgia, and I just felt like it was like I got back from Portugal, and my whole body, it was bad, severe cold, allergies, and I was in bed, and I was ready to cry. And I looked at my husband, and I said, I'm going to do a meditation. So don't talk to me, because we had just gotten up. I'm like, I'm not feeling well, like I'm going to do. And I literally went on YouTube, and I searched a meditation to feel healthier, to feel good, to take away illness. And I can tell you that after I got done with my meditation, I looked at my husband, who was still playing his card game on his phone, and I said, I'm getting up and I'm going in the shower and I feel great, I feel good. And he's like, oh, okay. And then I literally got in the shower, got ready, and had no pain throughout the day because I kept saying, I feel good, I feel great. And I really focused on it for the day, and it was a lot of work, but I felt good. And where I woke up thinking that today, which happens to me often, is going to be a day I can't do anything because I'm in so much pain with my fibromyalgia. But I just really was like, nope, today it's going to be my focus, and my focus is going to be that I'm going to feel good, and that's what I'm going to do for the day. And so for that day, I felt great. Yeah, I went to bed that night and I started feeling pain. But I really think that what people need to realize is that it's what you focus on, basically. So you want to sit there.
You could spiral up, you could spiral down.
I could sit there all day and been like, honey, my back hurts. I'm getting stabbings here. I'm getting stabbings there. No, I feel good. I feel great. And I just kept, I didn't go crazy doing anything out of this world that day, but I focused on that. So meditation can be all different ones, depending how you wake up in the morning. You can do whatever it is that you want.
Yeah.
That you're working on that day. You can actually search it, and you can plug in the amount of minutes you want to do it for. So if you feel like you woke up late and you only have 10 minutes, what I've heard is 7 minutes is the key. At least 7 minutes meditation.
And the thing is, really though, like you're on your phone, like everyone's on their phone. I'm like, oh my God, I just wasted like 45 minutes looking at nothing.
Right.
Nothing. There's nothing that I learned. There's nothing that made me feel good.
Right.
And it's like I could have spent that time meditating and focusing on the only thing that I can really focus on and concentrate and control, right, is my peace.
Exactly.
And I really I've definitely fallen off, of my meditations, and I need to start getting up earlier and doing them in the morning. But what I do realize is that I feel so much better, and and then the outside world just reflects.
Mm-hmm. It's
you
set
crazy.
Yourself up for success the moment you decide to work on you first thing in the morning, focus on you first thing in the morning. Everything just trickles in. Think about it. You meditate, you're putting the thoughts out there for good things. And another thing that I really want to make clear on here is that whatever is in your imagination of what your life could be, like whatever it is that you're like, this
bigger,
is what I want.
Bigger,
Not only that, but I just want you to understand that it's possible.
It's totally possible.
And it's for you. Because if it's in your imagination, it's something that can happen.
Absolutely.
And it's saved for you. Now you just got to take the steps to get to where you want to be, right, Meg?
To figure it out.
What do I want right now?
Yeah. Well, but it's funny because it's like I've always wanted to have like my summers off with my kids. Yeah. And it's funny because it's like my life has kind of become that where we have a little place that we go to in the summer, and it's like right off of the narrow river, and it already feels like it's kind of become that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like, you're like, oh, we're going to our summer spot, and like And so I feel like it's already started. And like, maybe it's not this year, but like next year that we can just take off and go for the entire summer. Yeah. But that is something that like I've always wanted for my life and the kids. And I think that like once you start to believe it and imagine it, and then you start to say, okay, like, well, like, how could we do that? How could we make that possible? But I do agree, like, if you don't dream it, visualize it, imagine it, then it's not going to happen. But also the writing it down, like every day, if you're looking at your goals and you're looking at and it's funny because I think a lot of people talk about the like SMART goals, like how are you going to get there, that they have to be achievable. And I believe in like the big goals, the bigger ones, and we'll be able to get there. But I think you have to have those really big goals and big dreams, but also like the action behind it.
You have to write it down. Just think of it, anything for like work, right? Every week I prepare for my week. What are my goals for this week? Oh, I need to go here, there, and there. I want to get this. It's the same thing for your life. You should be writing your own goals. And you should be making a difference like in your life every single day. It could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes. But you should be writing down that for that amount of time, every day you're going to do A. Once you do that and it's on paper, now it's part of your plan. Do 5 minutes. Eventually you're going to be like, oh, that was actually 10 minutes that I did this for me. Eventually it will turn to 15, 20, half an hour, and you'll be investing more and more time in you. But make sure that you put it on your goals, on your calendar, just like you would a meeting. For you.
Right.
And if you're like, I don't have time, first of all, you have time.
You have time.
You have time.
You have time.
You have plenty of time.
If you just look,
down.
Yeah.
Write it down and just make that promise to yourself. You deserve to invest in you and get to where you want to be.
Absolutely.
And you can do it.
Yeah.
Write it down. Put it on the schedule to work on you because you'll see big differences. Yeah,
well, I mean, I think also just in life, I feel like, if you want to be a good parent, if you want to be a good mom, if you want to be a good leader, you really have to know yourself. You have to invest in yourself. Absolutely. And you have to invest in that peace and take the tools that meditation, journaling, physical exercise, like those are all the places that you need to start with you to be able to show up authentically and peaceful with your kids and with your family. But the meditation is really like it is transformative, and
pulls it all in.
It does, and I feel like people don't. I mean, you go to the doctor and like your medicine should be. Go meditate for 15 minutes in the morning and before you go to bed. And I promise you, if you do that for a month, you're going to feel better. All the things are going to go away. And I didn't realize, like, reading like You Are the Placebo by Joe Dispenza. I mean, it's crazy.
Did you read it?
Yeah, the stories that he has and talks about, and how much we make ourselves sick. And when I was listening to him last year, I was like, oh my God, here I am. I'm giving myself a headache for 2 weeks, but everything's actually fine. Yeah. But it's like, but we just continue the story, continue the nonsense instead of saying like, look at this reality around you. Nothing's falling apart. You are totally safe.
Oh, and take time to be grateful.
Oh, yes.
Show gratitude for the littlest things. Like I will sometimes just be like in this happy moment with my husband, and I'm just thank you, Jesus, so much for my husband. Like I have this love, like I actually have somebody who really cares for me the same way I care for them. Like just showing that 2 seconds of gratitude will do so much for you.
Absolutely.
So much.
And I think, so what I started doing is I have a friend, and he is like always grateful verbally, like it's just like all the time. And so every time we sit down for meals, he's, literally just giving moments of gratitude, of prayer. And so I started doing that with my kids too, just at a meal, just saying like, thank you God, thank you universe for this food that's going to fuel us, it's going to nourish us, it's going to make us feel good and strong. And then I talk Isabella, like, protect my beautiful daughter.
Even being grateful for your peace, Meg.
Yeah.
Just the little things.
Yeah.
Just being like, you have peace.
Mm-hmm.
You have peace now.
Mm-hmm.
That little, being grateful for that little thing.
Just the little things. Yeah. And those like mental snapshots of like, even like, I was at the beach the other day with the kids and I'm like, wow, like what a great, like here we are. They're like playing on the rocks and like in the water and paddle boarding and there's boats going by with this beautiful view of the Jamestown Bridge. And it's just like that mental like, wow. But I think it's really important to teach our kids and to take those moments to show them how to be grateful, to show them, what were you guys grateful for today? What was the best part of today? And so sometimes, again, it's like kids, you just have to integrate. They're like, I don't know. And then they're like, oh, that big slide that we went down. Yeah, that was a great part about today, But even like that you woke up and that you're healthy and that, just there's always something to be grateful for.
Just taking that moment to think about what you were grateful for the day, then you start to say, you know what? Wow. Especially if you've been through hard stuff. Mm-hmm. And you're like, wow, like I actually have this peace. Like I'm actually happy. And also, one thing that I think is so important is that people are so quick to think of the worst.
Oh,
right?
Everyone
Your boss
always
calls you, oh, I did something wrong. What did I do? Blah, blah, blah. No, you did nothing wrong. Like, relax, Like, no, that person, you don't know if that person likes you or not. Stop thinking that person doesn't like you because later you'll find out that person looks up to you. Mm-hmm. So it's like remembering that the thoughts that come to your mind are not true. Mm-hmm. They're not.
We've just been trained to feel that way. I always say, even here, I'm always like, one of the girls, she'll be like, Meg, she's like, I need to talk to you. I'm like, oh God, what did we do wrong?
Right. But I tell people all the time, like, don't jump to that.
Yeah.
Just be like open to if somebody wants to talk to you or like, don't think it's the worst. If someone's being short with you or whatever it may be, you've got to understand.
It's not you most of the time. Yeah.
They're going through something themselves. They have stress in their home. They're now going into work and you don't know what's on their shoulders. Mm-hmm. You don't know what they're dealing with. So the way that they speak to you or it's not you, has nothing to do with you unless it is you.
Yeah.
Unless you're really like, but you've got to be able to look at the good thing. What could it, like, don't try to guess what it is or assume that's something bad or just assume people don't like you. Don't, just smile. Like, think of the positive instead.
Yeah, I've been listening to Neville Goddard and he's a little bit more religious than but listening to a lot of his talks, he was talking about God, right? And God is love and God is in everything. It's in all of us. Yeah. So if we can go through the day thinking of ourselves like God, like love, because essentially we are, right?
Yeah,
if God is in everything and everyone. And I think that when you go to believe that you're love, right? God, honestly, you just have a better day because even the people that are negative or unhappy and miserable and they're always, but it's like, we're all God's children, right? Yeah. And so as long as we can look at other people with love, you know, that really allows us to forgive and realize that we're all just, a lot of us are just broken humans, right? That either want to exist in their mess or don't. But as long as we're love, it's really it's boundless, it's endless, and it is transformative love. I really do believe that. So I think, the biggest thing is that we all should walk through life with a little bit more love.
Yes.
Even
smile more. Smile.
I know, like when I listen to Joe Dispenza's things, he's like, all right, walk like that, woman. And I'm like, yeah.
But it's true though. I actually, you know, some people are like, confidence is faking it until you make it. It's not. It really isn't. But it's part of it. Right? Confidence.
It's the feeling. It's the feeling.
It's feeling, dressing like the job you want to have. Like back in the day, I always dressed nice. I always wanted to be an executive. I wanted to be a vice president. I wanted to do this.
Boom, she manifested it.
And I used to always tell people that I worked with, if you really want that dress, act like that's what you want.
She always looks dressed to the nines. Every time I met Catia, I was like, I love that outfit. That looks cute.
I'm gonna manifest dressing down now.
yeah, dressing. I look like a hobo, and I'm either like dressed in like a character outfit, or I'm like literally in tie-dye sweatpants and Crocs and socks.
Yeah. I'm definitely at a point in my life where I want to manifest dressing down.
Yeah,
classy. Clean,
of course. I mean,
sharp,
of course,
but dressing down.
Yeah,
that's my next life.
Yeah, but I think that we all go through. I like to call them the seasons. There's seasons of Catia. Yeah. There's seasons of Meg, and those seasons can be anything we really want. And I think that, you know, we were talking about imagining a life. Right. A different life where travel is something that is like ingrained in our life.
Yes.
And, you know, once you believe that and you see it and you write it down, it is like so unbelievably possible.
Will happen. But what do you need to do too?
Exactly.
Right? Contact a friend.
Yeah. What are the
help.
what are the steps? But I mean, it's funny because it's like I really wanted you to come on this show because I think so. Like right now, you know, the Landlady Listens, I'm interviewing like developers and financial advisors and talking about like wealth and development and real estate, but also how important mindset is. And I want to build, you know, a big 8-unit building. Yeah. And it's important to create the room, right? To have the conversations, to build the team around you so that you can walk into the next season of your life being like, all right, I so got this and I have my people that can help me. But I also have that mindset that knows that, you know what, things are going to come up. I'm going to ask my friends to help me along the way. I always tell my kids, we're solutions based.
That's right.
We are not problems. We're solutions based.
That's right.
And I feel like there's always people that say, well, like I'm always ready for like the other shoe to fall. You know what I mean? It's like, I hate that. And I'm like, it's going
to fall if that's how you're feeling.
Right.
If that's how you're thinking.
You're always thinking about the worst.
Right.
Right? Instead of like, well, what if you just flipped it? And we're like, what's the best thing that could happen? Obviously, there's going to be things that are going to come up, but they're not even going to be things that you necessarily could have planned for all the time. Right. You know, you're going to do as much as you can, obviously. But I think that that mindset is the most important thing because you could have all the money in the world, but you could have no peace. You could have no happiness. You could have no health, you know? And I meditation has like literally transformed my life. I can say that.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. And when you start on the inside and you just are in that quiet space, and you really look at yourself and you let the past go. Yeah. Because it's not yours. And you can wake up every single day and be the best version of yourself.
That's right.
And be the best. Like literally just be like, you know what?
You've got to make that decision.
You do. And it's a daily, my mom always says like, that you know, I don't know, she was reading, she's very into meditation as well since I was a kid, actually.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I was really sick when I was a kid. I was like, they told my mom I was going to die.
Wow.
Yeah, when I was like 4, 5, 6 years old, I was like in hospitals and stuff like that. I had a lot of really bad allergies. But she just like kind of gave it up to God, like but also she, didn't listen to the doctors. And when she said one time in the hospital, there was like a woman who came and talked about homeopathic medicine. And so she started using like homeopathic medicine and really getting into it. She's like, because they were just like filling me up with like prednisone and antibiotics, which ended up making me like more susceptible and like sicker. And they're like, oh, just leave your daughter here. Like in I don't know, somewhere in like Chicago, they're like, you can just leave your daughter here. And my mom like looked at all the little kids and their faces were like just round and like they all looked so sick. And she's like, no,
Right.
like I'm not leaving my kid with you guys. And she was just like, there has to be like more, and something better. And so she really like got into meditation. And then she also really got into like natural, homeopathic medicine. And she's like, and that's really the thing that like saved you and like saved me, because at the end of the day, like it's true. It's like you have like, having a little kid be sick, like you can't, like, first of all, I can't imagine. It's the worst. Yeah, it's the worst thing. And you can't imagine. But it's like, again, if you can't like mentally be there, like just, you have to meditate for yourself, for your kid, for all of it to be able to really, But one of the things, she reads a lot of like Joel Goldsmith, but one of, I don't know, because he's like one of the guys, but he talks about dying every day.
He talks about
it's something like dying every day. So you have to like wake up like that past that past person that you just like wake up and you're like just doesn't, you don't have to be that person that you were yesterday.
Right.
But it's true. It really is. Like I was listening to this one guy too, Dan Martell. He's like, you can start a diet halfway through a bag of potato chips.
So true. Honestly.
I know.
You don't have to eat the whole donut. You can just take a bite and you can decide.
You can say, you know what?
Not to eat the rest.
Yeah, this is not going to get me to my goal.
Absolutely.
So
it's all about that decision, moment to moment, that you make that can make such a big change.
Yeah.
Where I was even in January is not anywhere near where I am now, and it's July. It's like you don't think you could see a difference if you invest. You can see a difference.
You can.
You've got to do it.
You got to do the work
every day, and trust you me, if you put in the work, you will see a difference.
I love it.
Things come to you. You meditate. That's another thing I want to mention. When you meditate, you're putting yourself in your body in a way where you're attracting things to you. So sometimes you don't even know. Right? You're not going, things are just coming to you.
It's crazy.
It's nuts, but it happens. I try so hard to explain this to people. It's like you don't know you even need it or you want it. And all of a sudden you get this call and you're like, wait a second. I can't begin to tell you how many things for work that's happened to me where I just get the phone call.
I know.
Big things.
I know.
And then I get big things done. And it's like, wow.
Yeah. Well, because what ends up happening is, right, like you're the antenna, right? Mm-hmm. So like whatever you're vibrating out there is what you're going to get back. So like if you're just like negative and everything's always horrible and you're the victim and blah, 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 good. That's literally what you're going to get. If that's what you want, that is literally what you're going to get.
And that's where generation after generation continues that same pattern, and it's miserable and it's negative and it just keeps happening. And I'm glad you brought up Hertz vibrations, because I really would like to talk about that. So when I got involved with Hertz vibrations,
so Hertz are wavelengths.
Waves, yep. So it's just like if you're listening to a sad song, you're most likely going to feel sad. If you want to feel happy and you're listening to, they all have Hertz vibrations.
Legit. I was listening, this is funny because I was listening to Fiona Apple and it's like Sullen Girl. It's like this album and I was like, girl, I was listening to you before, but I am not a sullen girl. We got to take you out of the CD player. And next, but I was like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not listening to you, but go on with the Hertz, but it's funny.
So Hertz is so important. So when I was going through this place in my life, time in my life where I lost everything, and had to start over with my son as a single mother, I didn't want my son to feel what I was feeling, to even see or think. I wanted him to think everything's okay and everything's going to happen and it's fine where we are. This is temporarily. I cried silently, but I started to research online, Googling, like, how do I hide my depression from my son? How do I get him not to see what I'm going through? And bloop, that's how I found out about Hertz vibrations. And there's all different types of Hertz. And it's basically, you can search, you can see the love, 528 Hertz, 412 is a good one too. They're very helpful to get you out of that mindset that you're in at that moment. So if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling down, you feel like everything's going down south for you, take the time to listen to some Hertz vibrations.
You could do it while you're sleeping,
too.
too.
While you're sleeping. That's my favorite thing to do. Whenever I feel like I'm, like too much is going on and I'm feeling down, I'll say to my husband, I'm putting on my Hertz vibrations tonight. And I literally put on my headset and I go to sleep with my Hertz vibrations.
Daily interventions.
All night long. And believe me, it makes such a difference when I wake up in the morning. So it's, again, doing the work. It's again, searching for anything to change how things are today if that's not where you want to be. But you've got to search for it. You have Google. Now you have ChatGPT you can go to.
Anything.
And ask anything. Hertz vibrations. Look it up. There's all different kinds. There is even some for dementia. I try to get my mom to listen to it. That helps you with it. If you really invest the time in listening to them, you will see it change.
But Hertz is crazy because Hertz was also used, like the Nazis used to use, what was it, 820 or what? There was some Hertz that they would actually use for like sound, and that's actually the Hertz that we listen to on the radio today, which is like, I was like, what? That is crazy. So finding music, you can like go on YouTube or on Spotify too and find different music that has different Hertz.
Right.
Like love Hertz or healing Hertz or forget whatever. So many different kinds. So I think it's like, it's all these little tools that you keep implementing. So it's like the meditations or listening to the Hertz when you go to sleep, even putting them on for your kids when they're sleeping, and teaching them the tools of even like the body scans and really to like get in the body, feel the body, get out of the mind, and like even do those like different breath work and stuff like that. But
just learning that you can do something for yourself, for your body, whatever it is that you're feeling, you can do something. There's resources out there. You can go and Google ChatGPT and find Hertz, whatever it may be. Don't settle to where you are today, no matter how bad things are today. Don't settle. Just think of what you can do to change that.
Yeah.
And then do the actions along with the meditation. You have to do the actions. You have to put the goals down in order for things to happen.
Yeah, and it will really change your life. I think going through some hard times in my life, I was like, the only thing that I have control over right now is my mind. And that's all I can do is just focus on that and focus on meditating. And that's all I did for like a while.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. Even that little girl, like the 14-year-old girl who was saying that she just would meditate all day in the hospital, and all the doctors said she was going to die and there was no way and blah, blah, blah. And she walked out of there 4 years later. So anything is possible when you actually put your mind to it, when you start thinking positively, and when you start taking the time for yourself to sit in quiet, to quiet the noise, to quiet all the there's just so much now like around us with social media.
So much, yeah.
I can't. It's too much information. It's like I can't do it. I personally can't do it anymore, and it brings no value, And so yeah, definitely doing this on the daily, meditating. I have to get back to it daily meditation because I was really good.
Do you need me to call you again at 5:30 in the morning?
She would call me at 5:30 in the morning. This is true. But Catia, thank you so much for coming on the show. I so appreciate it. What is your mantra?
Me off guard.
Like your daily.
Just live life to the fullest. Really focus on happiness and peace in your life. Get rid of the chows. Get rid of the noise, like you say.
I love that.
I don't know if that's...
That's it. That is it. Focus on the happiness. And if there were any book recommendations that you would give to our listeners.
Oh, goodness. There's been so many, and I'd have to say the most recent one that I'm reading is Joe Dispenza, The Placebo. I mean, it's insane. It's crazy.
It's insane.
It's life transforming.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah,
even
like
when I was sick, like, I was like, you know what? No, I'm not.
I'm not sick. I'm not sick. I mean, I think it's
crazy.
like, I think it's good to like, I think it's really good to be like, okay, you know, this is anxiety, or this is this, or this is PTSD, or this is like fibromyalgia, this is whatever. Disease, right?
Right.
But it's like, but then we like hold on to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's ours. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's great to be like, all right, got it. But like, I'm moving also past this. Like, I don't have to feel pain.
Right.
I'm not going to feel pain. And
Or
again,
dwell on it, right?
it's really dwelling. It's really the mental. You can either add to it, or you can take away from it. But Joe Dispenza, You Are the Placebo.
Recommend everybody. I mean, it's crazy. That book is insane.
That book is insane.
Yeah.
Like how you're literally either going to kill yourself with your thoughts or live. No, like legitimately. Right. It is. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. How can people get in touch with you?
I have a website. I'm on TikTok, so you can follow me, Catia Creates Change, both on TikTok and on Instagram.
How do you write that? How do you spell that?
Catia, Catia, Creates Change.
Love it. And you can contact her if you're in a spot where you are ready to change your life and have somebody to be accountable with. This is like the person you want to talk to. Absolutely. And she's done so much. So not even in terms, like, I mean, you know, you're in corporate America and you've climbed the ladder. So she can definitely help you with anything that you're looking for. I would even recommend you for anyone who's listening who runs a business or an organization to have you come in to really talk about changing your mindset. She has great seminars, and also following her on TikTok. I mean, she's got like so many followers. It's crazy. So thank you guys so much for having a listen today. Again, your mind is the most powerful thing that you have, and you have to take care of it. You have to plant the seeds. You have to grow. You have to grow in silence. Create those boundaries. Make sure that you are connecting with people that are going to lift you up, are going to spiral you up, and be that positive energy in your life. And we're so happy to have had you come in and listen. And again, you can change your life today. It's time. That's right. All right. See you. Bye. That's it for today's episode of The Landlady, where we turn your vision into a reality. Remember, success starts in your mind before it ever shows up in your life. Keep believing, keep building, and more importantly, keep taking action. And until next time, trust the process, bet on yourself, and go create the life that you deserve. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. Love you.